Auzu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Dear brothers and sisters, assalamu alaikum. My name is Shoaib Khan and welcome to Maxafter.com's tutorial. Well, this is a very simple tutorial and it's in 3ds Studio Max. I don't actually consider as a tutorial, but I'm just doing it because this method could be used in different ways, I'll just show you an example. For example, this is one of my products. I've used this, the same lens flare that I created in 3ds Max and imported as a PNG still, and then animated it in After Effects. Another example, there's another, and if you click on it you'll see, that's how it looks. It's pretty cool, so could be used, in different ways. And also I've used it in one of my latest products as well, which is this one. Here's the same kind of lens flare, and this is another example. Very basic, simple tutorial, that could be used in different ways. This is what we'll be doing in 3ds Studio Max, and then you can import it into After Effects and do lots of things with it. There's nothing in the scene basically, it's just one light, and then you apply the effects. So let's start the tutorial. Okay, let's start by first resetting the scene. We go to File, Reset, Nope, and Yes. Let's go to the Lights panel here, click on it, and we get an Omni. And we just click in the front viewport right in the middle. Right? So basically if you render now, there's nothing in there. So now what you need to do is you need to go to Rendering and Effects panel. And in Effects panels, you click Add. And from the list here we select Lens Effect. So you've got our lens effect. So again, if we render, nothing happens. Now we need to tell Max that what we need from the list here. So we go to Glow first and we click the arrow button, and now let's see what happens. We render, still nothing happens, because we need to pick the light. So we go to Pick here and we click the light in the scene, and now if we render, we've got a cool glow here like a sun. Basically it's a simple glow. Now we can also change this into Glow Main, right? That is the name basically. And let's change few settings here. So let's change this to size to 100 and intensity to 100 as well, and use source color. So right now it's not using the source color, it's using these two colors here, the red color that is here. But when we see source color, it uses the color of the light, which is a source basically, so it becomes white. So what we need a different color light here. So we've selected the light, we go to Modify and we change the color of our light. We go to Intensity and we change it to something, blue, and then it changes the color to this. So you can make it a bit stronger. It all depends what kind of color you need. And this is now our light color. Okay, the next step is we need to turn on the squeeze here, and when you render, basically nothing happens. So you need to change the squeeze here as well, which is, we'll change this to 20. So now you'll see it's squeezed. So you can also animate it, it looks very cool when you animate this squeeze, from round to squeeze it in, and finally it disappears. Okay, this is the first step, and now we're done here with the Glow Main. So this is the glow. So now we'll add the next from the list, which is Star, and we again click the arrow button that goes under it. So we'll call this Star, probably Star Main. Okay, and now let's go and render it again. We'll see something. So this is how basically the star looks like right now. We click on the star and we've got this panel here. Now we need to change these settings here, what kind of star you like basically. So we change the size to 20. The width is, as you can see, is quite big. So what we can do is change it to 0.5 and the taper size to 0.1. And quantity is 10. the points of the stars basically. And intensity, let's make it 30, and sharpness to 10. So let's render and see how it looks. This is the star here basically, and right now it's a bit small, so if you want to increase the size, you can change the size to, let's say, what happens if you do 100? So it becomes bigger. So this is how you can keep on changing it, try different values here and see how it looks. So let's keep it like this for now, and let's go to the next thing, which is streak. Let's try a streak now, and let's call this one streak horizontal. And when you render, that's how it looks. Right now it's vertical, but we need a horizontal one. So we select the streak horizontal here. We go to the streak element panel, and we change few settings here. Let's change it to 180, and change this to width to 3.1, this intensity to 50, angle to 53. That changes to horizontal angle, and occlusion 100. Source is, let's keep it 0. So this is how basically it is. Now the angle is a bit weird, so we need to change to see, to get the best angle here. Let's try to 90. So we got our 90 degrees, horizontal. So also let's change, the colors here. Right now we are not using the source color, so we change the colors here. Change this to a bit dark blue color, and when you render, see how it looks. So this looks a bit cool now. And let's add another streak, and we will name this streak diagonal. And when you render, so you've got now this streak here. So we need to change some settings here as well. Same thing, we just come here and change this size to 30, and this one to 4.5 and 30, 0. Okay, let's see how it looks now. So we need to change a few more settings here. Use source color, we need to change the source color. We've got our streaks here, so let's go towards the next step here now. The rays. We need to add some rays to our lens flare. So you go to ray, and we do the same thing. We click the arrow here, and we name it ray main. Okay, so now let's render her and see how it looks. So it's already looking cool, as you can see, when we have added the rays to it. So we don't need to change much here, but still, anyway, if you need to increase the size, then you can always increase it, let's say 400. Size is increased. It only helps, when you've got a full HD, or when you want to render a bigger still image, then you can increase the size from there. You can also increase the intensity. And intensity right now is 10, so let's increase it to 15. So that looks cool. Okay, let's go towards our next step, which is we'll add our auto secondary. We do the same thing and click the arrow here, and let's see how it looks. So you can see that we've got a nice ring around here already. So we've got a nice ring. So let's go to the panel here and change few settings. So intensity, we need to increase the intensity to 50. And so we've got some options here, and you can change the colors, different colors here. But for now we'll just leave it to rainbow. Okay, so now it looks better, but we can still increase the intensity, let's say 50. See how it looks. So as you can see now, looking better. Now we'll leave it to 30. So we don't want that strong, Okay, so we'll move on to the next step, which is the ring. let's see how it looks with the ring. So the ring is quite strong right now, so we need to go to the ring element panel and we change the size to 50 and this to 25, intensity to 10, thickness to 5, and use source color. And let's see in render how it looks. Okay, now it looks much better. Okay, let's add the next thing, which is manual secondary. We'll do the same thing. It's added, and when you render, that's how it looks. It's another effect. So let's close this and change few settings for the manual secondary. So you've got here, this is 50, plane 150, 30, 20. So let's change the intensity to 25 and let's see how it looks. Okay, because we don't want that to be too strong, you know, so it looks fine now. If you got these effects here, now for example you don't want a certain effect, so what you do is just go to, let's say you don't want the glow, you go to glow and all you do is just turn it off from here. We lose our glow. Similarly, we can use the same method to turn on and off the other effects. Now we've got our lens flare here, which could be, you know, rendered as a PNG. For example, now it's rendered. All you need to do is just go here and save it, and you can save it as PNG and save it as, let's say, lens, and it'll give you an option. You save alpha channel and you say OK, and then when you import that still image, it'll be imported into After Effects without the black background, so you'll have only the effects, you know, the elements here that you see. So basically that's how, you know, you can add more effects to it. If you want to add, let's say, more rays, you go and click in here, so you can add more rays. You can, when you render it, the rays become stronger, but you can also, you know, change the angle of the rays so it shifts. So similarly, you can add more effects, remove effects. You know, if you want to remove effect, you just highlight the effect and click this button here, so the effect is removed. Similarly, if you want to add more effects other than lens effect, then you go to add, and let's say if you want film grain, so you just click OK. Film grain is here when you render it, so you've got film effect, you know. And if you want to delete it, you just delete it. So similarly, you can add more, you know, of these effects that are here. So I hope you have enjoyed this tutorial. Once again, my name is Shoaib Khan from Maxafter.com. Assalamu alaikum.